You're listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show, where wealth is empowering, purpose is crucial, and high vibes are non-negotiable. And now, here's your host, certified business coach and practical woo strategist, Sarah J. Loureiro.
Hey Biz Babe, do you feel like you have a beautiful, big vision for your business yet are struggling to bring in consistent clients? If so, I totally know how you feel and I've got you. I used to struggle with getting and booking consistent clients when I first started my first business 4 years ago. But after implementing this amazing 6-pillar system that I've figured out for myself, I was able to get fully booked literally within a matter of weeks. If you want the same system, I'm actually giving it away for free in my fully booked in 30 days checklist for coaches and creatives. So you can find that on bit.ly/fully booked in 30. That's capital F, capital B, fully booked in 30. Check it out. I promise you that it is going to help you so much.
And welcome to our training based on how to create content that is going to help you convert and really attract higher end clients, higher paying clients. So one of the reasons why I've decided to create this specific training on how to create content that is going to attract your ideal clients is because as you guys know, I have almost a multiple six-figure business now, and it's been really, really incredible to see the transformations that I've been able to create for my clients, see all of the different programs that I've been able to do, and of course, really be able to work with women who understand the value of my rates, but also at the same time, from understanding the value of my rates, understanding the value of them getting into the higher rates as well, so they can attract really high quality clients and create sustainable businesses for themselves. So it's been really incredible to watch all of this unfold and to be able to really help my clients get to the next level and really having them come back to me and be like, I just signed, like my first 5K client. They paid me in full and I can't believe it. Like I've had life coaches, I've had website designers really go from having like $250 packages to going up and literally having clients pay them $4,000 and $5,000 and even like $8,000 in full for their programs. And like I said, this kind of goes throughout a whole bunch of different industries. So it's not just business coaching. It's not just B2B. A lot of life coaches, health coaches. And it's been really, really incredible to watch. Okay. One of the reasons why I really wanted to expand in this and really talk to you guys about this is because I wasn't always at this level of self-belief and really at this level where I was able to attract higher paying clients. In fact, I come from a really pretty middle-class household. I was really, really fortunate in my family that they brought me through university. I did my master's degree on a scholarship, so I didn't have to pay for any of that. So I already had a pretty good mindset around money, but I was really struggling to ask people to pay me higher amounts for my services, even though I knew that my services were valuable, even though I knew that I was going through higher level certification programs for everything that I was doing in my business. And so it wasn't until I really started working with a coach and working with a mentor where I was working on my mindset, and I was working on my mindset in terms of what it was that I wanted to do with my own life and how much I wanted to create and all of that kind of stuff, that I was able to really step in an embodiment of the next level version of myself that was actively, investing in my business, but at the same time, asking other people to invest at very similar levels. And that's one of the first things that I wanted to talk about in terms of how to create content that converts into higher paying clients, is you really need to understand what it is like to be a higher paying client. So if you are not investing in your business, and if you are not actively paying very similar amounts or really doing very similar things in terms of taking the next step and taking the risk of investing in your own self, then you can't expect other people to do it as well, because you're not going to understand the feeling, and you're also not going to understand the value behind that investment. Okay. So if you are asking other people to pay high end and you are not paying high end, there's a huge disconnect there. There's a huge energetic disconnect there as well. And so one of the best ways to do that is to really figure out how it feels. And if you don't believe that higher end, or that paying someone a higher rate for a really amazing quality is correct, then you're going to have a really hard time signing up clients at a higher price point than industry standard, or at a higher price point in general. Because if you don't believe it in your heart, that's always going to come out in your marketing. So that's point one, is really embodying that. Starting to understand, am I the person who invests in my business? Am I the person who invests high level? Because if I'm not, then I can't expect other people to. If I don't invest in my business, I can't expect other people to invest in my business. And that goes into various different levels. My client and I were just having a conversation this morning about how there are people out there who say, I want to have $1 million business, or I want to make 6 figures every single month, but they're not even willing to invest $100 in their business. So those two mentalities, the point A to point B just isn't there. And so you also want to be very realistic with yourself in terms of what you're willing to do in order to get there. And once you can do that for yourself, and once you can understand that to yourself and what you believe to be true for yourself, because everything that happens, every way that we project ourselves and project our energy into our business is a direct relation to how we feel deep down about the things that we're talking about. And so if you are trying to tell people, okay, we're going to make, invest $5,000 in my business, yet you don't really feel like that is something that's really, really valuable, and you don't feel like it's valuable enough for people to pay you that much, it doesn't matter how many strategies that you work through. If you're not digging and doing the inner work through that, it's always going to come out in your messaging. Okay. So how do you make it not come out in your messaging? Well, number one is what I was just talking about in terms of making sure that you're investing high end, making sure that you're investing high value. But also, after you have that done, is really starting to embody who it is, or what level of yourself or what version of yourself accepts higher paying clients. Okay, I know that none of this is strategy so far, but trust me, this is all going to make sense, and it's going to make so much more sense than if I was just like, this is what you need to say at this specific point in your content, and this is what you need to say at this specific point in your content, because none of that matters if you are not energetically aligned to your price points, and if you're not energetically aligned to really understanding that you're worth that amount. Okay, and that people can pay you that amount. That's another huge step to that. And so embodying the person who is making those amounts of money. Okay, what is she doing that's different than you? How is she showing up differently? What is her energy like? Is she desperate? Is she always scarce? Right? Or is she always abundant? Is she really happy? Is she really fun? And start embodying that energy now. And have that be one of your daily to-dos that you put on your to-do list. So you know how you have your little to-do list where you check off little boxes like, okay, today I'm going to make an Instagram post. Today I'm going to take new photos, right? Today I'm going to connect with that person who I was talking to in a DM conversation. All of those to-dos, you want to also make sure that you're scheduling in your scheduler, that you are also making sure that you are doing specific things in your day to embody that next level version of yourself who's receiving the money that you want to receive and receiving the high-end clients that you want to receive. And so if you don't think that you're like her already, you're going to want to make sure that you're taking specific steps to embody her. So what do I mean by that? It could just be a feeling, right? So the richer version of myself, or the version of myself that has these higher paying clients, how does she feel? Well, she's supporting her clients a lot more. Okay, so I need to start supporting my clients a lot more, right? She's sending her clients gifts. She's sending her clients different types of gifts than what she's sending now. Okay, then I need to start sending different gifts. She's wearing a lipstick every time that she goes on her Instagram stories. Okay, then start wearing lipstick on your Instagram stories. Let's say, for example, she is always getting up. I had a client once who was she hated the fact that she would get up and she wouldn't shower right after she got up. And she really thought that just like, it felt really, really lazy to her. And so one of the things for her to really step into that embodiment was to take a shower right when she got up, because that felt rich to her. That felt like she was taking care of herself, and that felt like she wasn't a slob. And so little things like that can really, really help you to really step into that next level of yourself and really start creating content from that place. Because if you're creating content from a place of scarcity, if you're creating content from a place of doubt, even if you're going on a Facebook Live or doing an Instagram story or anything like that from a place of doubt, that's going to come across in your words, and that's going to come across in what you choose to say. So this is why it's so important to first start on the inner work and then let the inner work reflect the outer work that you're doing. Okay, so let's say, for example, now you have the inner work done. So now you've done all the inner work in terms of knowing that you're worthy of attracting these higher paying clients, of knowing that you know how it feels to be on the other side of that type of payment, that type of investment, knowing that you are also investing in yourself, so that you understand the energy behind all of that. Now that you're there, let's now talk about a little bit more of the strategic parts of how to really focus on content that's converting into higher paying clients. Okay, so higher paying clients do not care about discounts. Okay? They will sometimes, but in general, they care about quality, right? When I work with my clients or when I sign up for anyone's services, I don't care that they have like a 50% off. I care about the quality that they're going to give me. I care about the results that they're going to give me. I care about the transformation. I care about the fact that they're motivated enough to work really, really hard for me. So one, consistency in your strategy and consistency in everything that you do. Because, as a client, you want to make sure that that person's going to be there for you no matter what. And if they're disappearing off of their social media for a week or 2 weeks, they're probably going to just be disappearing from you as well. So that creates a lack of confidence that you now have as a client in their work, right? And so you want to make sure that you maintain consistency. So you want to make sure that you're pre-planning all your content. And you also want to make sure that you're not talking to the people who only want discounts. This is one of the biggest things that I see with a lot of my clients. And this is one of the things that I used to say too. There are no high-end clients out there. I can't find people who want to pay me, like $5,000 for my packages at the time. And it wasn't that there are people who didn't want to pay me $5,000 for my packages. In fact, when I really started changing up my strategy a little bit more, I found that there were a lot more people who wanted to pay me than people who didn't want to pay me. But the problem was that I kept on focusing on the people who didn't want to pay me. I kept on focusing on the people who weren't serious about their businesses. I kept on focusing on the people who thought that they wanted to create 6 figures but wouldn't even invest $100 in their business. And so those people are not my people. Those aren't the people who are going to create amazing results from coaching. Those aren't the people that I needed to spend my time nurturing. And once you understand that there are always going to be 2 types of people who are interested in your work, but not all of those people are actually going to be the ones who are purchasing from you, then you can actively stop paying attention to the people who are afraid of investing and start paying attention, and a lot more attention, to the people who want to invest but maybe need a little bit more time. Maybe they need to know a little bit more of your work, or maybe they just need a little bit more relationship building on your end. Okay, so now if your clients, and if you are actively putting yourself out there and making sure that you're speaking to that person who wants quality, what are the different words that you're using in your content? They're really going to be very different from the person who wants a discount. Okay? What are the words that you're going to be using in your content that are going to help you to attract those people who aren't the people who are just kind of like dibble-dabbling in everything that they're doing and are never really going to take themselves forward? How can you really attract the go-getters? You need to start speaking to them. And so every single time that you get off of a phone call or you get off of a conversation with someone who's just like, yeah, I totally want this in my business, or like, yeah, I totally want to lose weight, but I'm not willing to spend any money on it. How can you actively just say, okay, not my ideal client, right? These are the people who I want to repel. These are the people who I don't want to attract anymore. Okay. And it's getting yourself out of that mindset scarcity that those are the only people who exist, because they're not the only people who exist. Okay. There are like hundreds and thousands of people in your specific niche who are going to pay you high end so you can deliver them a high end product. But if you're only speaking to the people who only want low end and the people who aren't serious, then that's all you're going to get, because like attracts like. And so you want to make sure that you're not speaking to those people anymore. This is one of the toughest things that you can do, but understand that there are more people out there. It's kind of like dating, right? When you first start dating and when you're like, oh my goodness, I can only find men, for example, who are really trashy and all they want to do is just smoke weed and, sit on their couch and watch movies all day. But then at the same time, those are the only people who you're talking to, right? Or like maybe you're on a specific social media app, a dating app that you're looking at, and you're only really talking to those guys. You're not investing in the higher level dating app. You're not going to another bar. You're not looking for men outside of bars, right? If you're always looking in the exact same place and you're always focusing on the exact same people, you're always going to get the exact same people. Whereas if you embody the version of yourself who's already there, you embody the version of yourself who's attracting the people who you want to attract, you're going to start looking in different places, and you're going to start talking in very different ways, because now you're no longer talking to the people who aren't serious. Now you're talking to the people who want to take their business to the next level, their life to the next level. They want to take their health to the next level, whatever it is. You're looking for those go-getters. You're not looking for the people who aren't serious. And so other ways that you can start to attract higher end and higher quality clients through your content is making sure that you are also being slightly polarizing with everything that you're doing. And so I'll give you an example. If you are getting on calls, or if you're getting into conversations with people who are like, yeah, no, that's way too much money, or, who are giving you specific objections where you're like, oh, that's totally not the type of person who I want to work with, then start putting that in your content. Start putting that in your email. Start telling people this is not for the person who's not serious, the person who never wants to invest in themselves. This is not for that person. This is for the person who, and then you want to make sure that you're really speaking to all of the results that they want to attain. Okay. People who believe in themselves are always going to invest at those levels, because they know that, one, they need to put the work into doing it, but also two, they know that, and they believe that they can see themselves with the results that you're trying to give them. People who usually have money objections and people who usually aren't really serious about their businesses or about their lives are always going to have objections. And one of the number one objections is really because they don't believe that it's possible for them. Okay. That level of belief, although you can work through it in your content, it's actually so much easier to just kind of call out the people who are right on the fence and right on the fence of wanting to work with you. All right. What do you do with groups that you have free content in? Definitely always transition them into sales. Okay. So here's the other big part about content and creating high-end content that's really going to convert higher-end clients is, once you understand the type of content that's going to attract those higher end clients, make sure that you're always also transitioning that client into sales, that content into sales. So make sure that you're always at the bottom of all of that content, telling people, this is what I do. This is how I can do it with you. These are results that I can get for you. Like, here's how to work with me. And once you do that consistently, especially with the content that's going to attract the ideal clients, and then once again, getting that from a space of total belief in yourself and in your services, that's when you can maintain the consistency with selling. And that's how everything will help to work together in your favor. And there you have it. That is the exact method that you can use to attract higher end clients through your content. So remember, it's not just about your strategy. It is also about all of the thoughts and feelings that you work through. And the more that you do that internal work, the more that it will reflect in the outer work, because once you work on both of those, your success is inevitable. It doesn't even matter how much money you want to make. You will always hit those goals. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time.
Hey, did you like or love this episode? If so, I would so appreciate it if you left a review and rated this episode on iTunes. It would literally mean so much to me. And if you have Instagram and are all up in your Instagram stories like I am, I would love it if you would share this episode with your beautiful followers so they can also get all of the high vibes, all of the free information that I'm giving you here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. If you enjoy our show and would like the show notes and free goodies about how to grow your online coaching business, head over to sarahjlorero.com for more information. We hope you'll tune in next time.